but it was hard to follow.
Okay. I'm not sure.
A little more complicated. It wasn't nearly as easy to follow as the DiCaprio one.
I haven't seen the DiCaprio one yet. I'll have to do that.
Call this meeting to order.
Yes.
We have an adoption of the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moves the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any oral communications?
Seems like no one from the public.
The
Chirp,
multitudes
chirp,
are out
chirp,
there.
Chirp, chirp.
Surely they want to communicate with us.
Yes. Okay, so we'll move on to the review of the DSEC work plan. Oh, OSEC work. Still getting used to new glasses. My apologies.
I updated last year's work plan, and as you know, without Natalie to help, I was wondering if anybody would jump at something that they noticed that has been left off. If not, it's as simple as saying, you know, we're going to continue doing what we're doing with the focus on the things on this list.
I don't know what's on your screen, but on our screens,
It says
check video cable. There's a little box. There's
The signal,
no.
we just lost the signal.
The signal disappeared, yeah.
I don't know, it's because I pulled it.
Yeah, we had a signal a second ago. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Somebody kicked
Oh, did that
something.
come? Now you see who.
It seems to me there were like 12 things on our list. Some of these could be.
Yeah,
bumped in.
it's back on.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Great.
Or maybe it was 9 and we're going to round it up to an even 10.
So does anybody want to comment, think that something important is not on here? Or if
There's a lot of stuff on this list.
One thing, but it kind of depends on what the council said in December, because they were going to be asked about the green building ordinance. And, you know, whether it should be updated or whether we should add to it. And since we haven't met since November, I don't know what the council said. If the council does want us to do something about the green building ordinance, that probably should be on here, shouldn't it?
yeah, and that was Ken was going to bring that when he brought that item to them, the code upgrades. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
So do we know what happened with that?
I don't recall
Okay.
if they gave clear direction, but I can find out. I'll take note.
Okay, so if they did, we probably should put that on as an item, but I guess we could do it next time. And we'll have to do it next time.
Yeah.
Anything else, or should we move on?
Hold on.
Nothing from my end.
Is this, I'm sorry, I don't have 2016s in front of me. Is it the same as 2016? Are we just continuing on with the projects?
Well, like I said, I did edit a little bit the specific
Okay.
things that I knew that would come up. You know, that was kind of the template, but we've added Firth Canyon after the contractor does their work, which is supposed to start in the spring.
Great.
And I put in something about a climate action plan for 2030 and priority conservation area grant funds if they're available, and I added the library display that wasn't on the publications before,
Mm-hmm.
and I put in the updating the 2001 open space plan.
We are also continuing with the invasive species articles, correct?
Yeah, I kind of thought that that fell under education outreach, but if you want to specify it, we can.
Yeah.
We were talking about an ordinance, which
That
is not
too.
really education and outreach. We had a subcommittee for that.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember who was on it. I don't remember. You are, and yeah, so, and Michelle was gonna consult. She's gonna consult.
So Megan and,
Somebody.
okay. Okay, yeah,
I don't know if we want to do anything about this, or if we have the money to do anything about this, or if there's any point to doing anything about this, but the last time I was out on Quarry Road, which would be probably in December sometime, I noticed that somebody had graffitied our sign, for the biological reserve. And the one at the entrance to Quarry Road has gotten wet. The little shelter thing doesn't really work. So both of the signs look pretty grungy. The one of them is metal. The one out by the entrance to the Quarry Road Biological Preserve is a metal sign, and maybe they could clean it off without messing up the photograph that's on there. I don't know.
yes. There are ways to, try to remove graffiti sometimes that are,
So, question mark about that. I don't know if that is worthy of an item on our work plan. It might be a sub-item.
was it OSEC funds that paid for the signs
believe it
originally?
was, yeah.
Okay. And the one at the entrance, can you describe
Well, when you walk into Quarry Road, right when you
the bollards and,
there's that little kind of kiosk there with a little roof over it, and there's a sign under that roof.
mhm,
But that one I think is cardboard, and it's been wet a number of times, and it's kind of wrinkled up. It doesn't really look very good anymore.
and who put
We
that
did.
sign?
We did.
Okay. We can look at that, yeah.
Maybe put something that's not cardboard. Yeah, if we're gonna replace that sign, probably a metal sign would be a better bet. But I don't know, the committee ought to think about whether it's even, well, I think it's worth it to do it, but people keep passing them up.
Yeah, we can, take a look at it and bring something back at the next meeting. Look at
Okay.
the picture and see what would last better.
Yeah, I mean, the first one is right at the very entrance to Quarry Road, and the other one is a little past Lippman School.
Okay.
Has anybody else seen what I'm talking about?
I haven't been out for a while. I'll go.
I'll take a better look next time I'm over there.
Yeah.
It might also be nice to add in some trail routes as well, trail route signs.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, the trail maps we had at on the library display, we're out of those. They've all been taken. Can we get more?
So those were the San Bruno Park,
Mm-hmm.
and Natalie provided them.
Mm-hmm.
They're green, white and green?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And while we're on the subject of the mountain and the park, I would still like to get a trash can to put out near the informal skateboard park, which is still being used as far as I can tell.
So, I communicated with the county because that's
Oh, that's right,
their
that's
part of the
their-
park. And I
yeah.
think they went and cleaned it up the one time, and I asked them, if they have a service request system, I guess, that, I don't know if they have a specific one, but there's an app that works for them, that's C-Click Fix, I think.
Okay.
And also, that was the, park superintendent, he said, we could email him directly with those kind of concerns, but it seemed, I don't know if you put a can out, then, they weren't at the point of like, oh, this is ongoing, we're ready to just put a can out, but I think if we keep telling them that garbage is accumulating, eventually they're gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
There.
a can has to get picked up, you know, so that then they would have to allocate some resources to do it on some basis.
Right, it has to be added to the.
They wouldn't be able to just put a can out there and say, well, we're never gonna deal with that,
Right.
you know, so they're gonna see impact on, you know. But eventually, you know, to Karen's point, they'll cross a threshold and they'll be like, oh, it makes more sense for us to schedule this because then it's better managed and, you know, cheaper in some way.
Yeah, I've occasionally talked to kids that are out there using the skateboard park, and they're not bad kids. And I actually asked them, I said, you know, this place is getting pretty trashed up. Would you guys pick up your trash if there was a trash can here? And they said they would. So I think it's a little bit unrealistic to expect them to truck it out with them, even though they should. But yeah, Boy Scouts would say so, but
Well, we can mention that too, and I can do that when I contact the county, that users indicated that they would use a trash can.
I don't know how much the skateboard park is being used, but I know that some kids seem to like that location as opposed to the one in town, and they're both getting a pretty good workout, so that's fine.
I'm guessing it's probably not getting used right now during the rainy season very much.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
It's pretty wet.
But speaking of which, I get out there as often as I can, but I think it would be a good idea if committee members would walk out there and be sure that there aren't mountain bike tracks going through the meadows, because we've had some pretty significant problems with that before, people taking mountain bikes up the mountain after rains, and it just digs big gouges and causes erosion and runoff and stuff. We should keep an eye on it.
Where are you talking?
I'm talking about going out Quarry Road and then going up the mountain. Either an Owl or Buckeye had mountain bikers up there in the past.
They're up there. Is there something we should maybe put a sign, or what's the suggestion? Don't
Well,
no mountain biking during the mud?
We should tell San Bruno Mountain Watch
Okay.
thing. And I think the last time we had this problem, which was a couple years ago, there were mountain bike tracks,
Mhm.
especially in Owl Canyon. And what we did is talk to Paul Buscal,
Mhm.
whose kids or stepkids, I forget which, have, you know, Paul's really good with kids, and he has connections, and his kids knew some other kids, and so
Found out who was the culprit.
the problem seemed to go away. So, you know, if it's back, we should talk to Paul again. But I don't know if it's back or not. I haven't been out there for a while.
Yeah, and I think the rangers would do their part, but it's hard to, you know, they gotta catch someone in the act, actually.
They don't come very often.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, too, is there a sign or something that tells them not to? I mean, how will they know? I mean, you say
Yeah, I
don't do
think
this,
that
and they're gonna look at you like you're crazy.
I think at trail entrances, they do say, you know,
No mountain bike
motorized.
thing.
Yeah, I think there's those little symbols with the
Little
with
X.
the slash.
Yeah, that's
down
true.
through.
I'm just trying to think without it.
But I'm not. I
Sure
don't
if there's
remember
one
whether
there.
there's one in Owl Canyon or not.
I don't think so. I'm
I'm not sure.
I'll look.
Where the skateboard park is where it should be if there is one.
so, should we move on from the work plan?
Okay, review of OSEC subcommittee
Oh,
assignment.
sorry, I had one thing. I found this old thing from Lisa Portacovo, and it's questions for the Brisbane's annual city survey. Are we still doing the annual city survey, and could we add in some questions?
We haven't done it.
Haven't done that for a while.
Uh-uh. Yeah.
Okay,
That was a one-time thing.
okay,
we did.
okay. I think it would be interesting to do again at some point, but I don't think we necessarily want to launch off and do that on our own. Maybe the city chooses to do another one, we can
Participate.
participate, yeah.
Yeah, I can see by the nature of the name annual that it implies that
Yeah.
it's been done for many years.
It said annual, but
Annual for 2 or 3 years.
Hmm.
intentionally annually.
Triannually.
All right.
So moving on, number 4, OSEC subcommittee assignments.
Yeah, so I highlighted this particularly because I did talk to Park and Rec staff about how to move this concept and get some traction on it, and so the direction staff was to have an ad hoc subcommittee with a couple of OSEC members and a couple of Park and Rec Commission members, and talk about what to do with replacing the Christmas tree. So I'm looking for 2 people that would want to do that, 1 or 2 people that would
I'll
want to do
stay
it.
involved. I was
Two of
on it.
us
Yeah,
are working on that as
Mhm.
well, so I think that would be,
works for me.
yeah,
Okay.
move forward with that.
And Michelle would be okay with, since she's not here.
Or we'll keep her
the
informed,
loop.
in the
Okay.
loop, yeah.
So I think the next step is, or the first step, obviously we'll meet, but I'll be trying to bring to that. I mean, I can touch base with you, installation, like what it would cost to install the Christmas tree, a new Christmas tree. If we're talking about in the lawn area, we don't want it to be watered as much as the lawn, so it might be an irrigation change, and the concept is to have it, east of the existing tree, so that it's, the existing tree is a wind block for it as it grows. So,
We also
having-
have to move it away from the natural gravitational flow of the water, which all drains essentially to the Christmas tree.
and mound it.
I
The
think
idea
it
was to
drains
mound it.
more to the corner of the skate park.
The lowest point of the park is right towards the Christmas tree.
But that part that's over by the, pagoda, sort of,
That's
more
higher.
towards that, yeah, but that's the part that's usually really soggy. You wanna go like sinking in and squelching, go to that part.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, we want it up higher than the rest, and it's gonna have to be built up as a monument anyway.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be at least 3 feet higher would be my thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something higher.
Maybe,
You
yeah,
wanna
so.
put it on a sort of berm
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Not a berm necessarily, but actually have it, I don't, again, I'm just dreaming at this point, cause I don't know what the city will allow, but, you'd have a concrete area with like a planter, basically, huge.
I think
and
I would
lift it up.
rather do a berm, 'cause I don't want kids.
Berm's fine, but again, if you had something that you step up on, then it's gonna slow down the children to climb it, especially if you have several signs saying don't climb a tree. So, anyways, just a thought. You gotta build it up, berm's fine too, and whatever it takes, just lift it up a bit.
Yeah, so the idea of the committee would be,
So you're right, you would definitely have to add some cost in irrigation, landscaping,
right, kind of
Sure.
reconfiguring what's there, right? And then we would bring that as a recommendation to the council. So, I will get back to you guys on having that joint subcommittee.
sounds good.
And we talked on the work plan, updating the open space plan. We had people that said they would, Michelle, I know, wanted to work on that, right?
I
And
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
did
maybe,
anybody else want
sure.
to kind of work on a subcommittee on that?
I think Michelle and I were on that subcommittee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in the notes, but thank you for reminding me.
Natalie used to have a document that had who was on what subcommittee. Is that findable?
I'm sure it's findable, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we forget what subcommittees we're on, and then we don't do anything
Right.
for a really long time, and then you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of got a schedule of what should happen in what months. So we're gonna start with the habitat restoration, but I've got to reschedule that when I can get Michelle to come to that, so. That's another one. So that's all I had in terms of what's happening right now. We're kind of, getting back up to speed, getting the ball rolling, so.
Then let's move on to the approval of the minutes, which is already kind of pre-approved.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I was
Mhm.
referring to about the green building ordinance.
Yeah.
Do people need to read them now, or?
No, I read
them
them
before?
all.
Looks okay to me.
Mhm.
Yep.
Move the minutes to be
Here we
approved.
go. Second
I'll
on that?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moves. Let's move on to chair and committee matters.
Sounds like we went through a few things that people had. Does anybody have any other things they want to start off the year with?
Yeah, I had some stuff, but I gotta find my paper, so if anybody else wants to.
So I guess this is where I can talk about the energy savings toolkit, right?
Mhm.
Or is it, should I
Yeah,
mention it?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Because you've had that for a couple months. How's it going?
Yes, I had that since our meeting in November.
Yeah.
So I thought that it was very well put together in terms of content and tips and suggestions of what people can do and should do. So I want to thank the committee members that put it together. I think it's really well thought through.
Mostly Barbara.
Yeah.
Mostly
Barbara.
me.
Where's
I'm
Barbara?
sure I'm missing some things, and we can talk about that in more detail later, but I appreciate your support and approval, because that was a lot of work.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's quite detailed and has a lot of good content, and it's a great reference. The binder with all the tips and suggestions is a great reference guide for anyone that wants to, think how they can save energy for their home. And of course, the tools that are part of the toolkit are very useful. So one of my suggestions was, because we know with the toolkit it's only one, and so one household per time will be able to use it. And so I thought the tips and the suggestions that are in the binder, which is really rich in content, that if we have a way to digitize that and put it on the website that we can link to through the OSEC website, that way more people can refer to it when it's online, rather than only have it available if they have the toolkit with them. And because there is so much content in that binder, I mean, even if you read it, you wouldn't remember everything right away. So having it online would be a good way for people to reference to it even after they return the toolkit. And the tools that are in it, I think as people find them useful and valuable, most people most probably purchase some of them on their own and keep it even after they return the toolkit. So the toolkit is like a good way to get introduced to the concept and start using it and start thinking how you can save money. And then people can buy some of these tools on their own, either from the local store on Amazon. And so I think then if we have the content of the binder online, people can refer to it at any time. So my thought was that, might be a good internship project for someone in the summer to work on like digitizing the content of the binder and putting it online and just making it available for the whole community.
Oh, most of it I have in documents, so I can send it to Karen.
Yeah, and I think we could get it onto the city webpage and in the OSEC area.
Make another
folder.
section.
Yeah.
And there are coupons too, right, Karen, that we have from the hardware store here, from Billy and the hardware store here for that.
Yeah, well,
kit.
yeah, that's not officially set
Oh,
up yet,
oops.
but
Okay, scratch that.
I think we talked about that. I can get you coupons if you want to buy some of the items that were
Items, so.
included.
Well, we'll talk to him. I can
Yep.
go and talk to him if you want.
Yeah,
Oh, he said he'd do it, so
Yeah,
what
that's
still
all.
needs to be set up?
I just haven't gone
At
over
the
and said,
account? Okay.
Yeah, here's what you should bill, and then it'll get paid this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that I haven't checked, what discounts people get in the local store, but I do a lot of shopping on Amazon, so sometimes you just buy things there. Usually you get a good price, so. But I thought that otherwise the content of the toolkit is really good and very useful, and so if we make it available online, a lot of these materials, I think that way we can also link to them in our in the weekly email that the city sends, or links to these materials could be included in other communications from the city, so it becomes more a way to reinforce the message of what people can do on a daily basis to really save energy, and really practice this sustainable living every day.
And now, there were 2 people that had signed up. Were we waiting to this year to give those to those?
Yeah.
Melissa,
yeah.
I think
You guys
Cole
were
was
kind of
one.
testing it out, so
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
if we think it's ready.
I
we
think it's
can-
probably ready. Should we get the discount coupons first?
Yeah.
Set up so
Yeah.
that they can go in?
Did you bring the toolkit back?
I'll bring it in tomorrow. I prepared it tonight, and I left it at home. But I'll
Okay.
bring it in tomorrow,
Yeah,
so I can
no
drop
problem.
it off here. Yeah.
Okay. As an interesting side note, I'm not sure when and where, but maybe it speaks to you're saying having more than one. Is it the county staff working group meeting last month? They said they're looking at getting a toolkit. I don't know if it may take them a while to do it, but we kind of prodded them at first and they didn't really take it up. So we'll see, but we have ours and
Who is this again?
the county working group, so like CCAG.
We're
Okay.
gonna have one for the whole county?
Well, no, that just to get that program on board, I guess it would be a library program like Santa Clara, I guess. But I think it's still in the infancy, so ours will probably get a bit of use before if they got anything off the ground, you know.
Or if they get it started, maybe the cities can all, replicate what they've done to replicate the work, so they don't have to.
Or maybe
each
they'll
city
want to
has
replicate what we did.
I was gonna say that, all the work that Barbara put into it.
I'm certainly not feeling greedy, like I can't share.
Of course not.
So,
I want everyone to do it.
It goes up on the website.
yeah.
So
There were
might they
Be available.
finance more toolkits?
Yeah, well, they didn't go into detail. It was kind of at the end of the meeting, and it surprised me because I thought it had come up, and I'd kind of queried them about doing it. So there's time to follow up. I'll follow up with them next month.
Okay. Cool.
And then you had, Camelia, you'd mentioned about Lippman, and did I email that back to you that we had, the Climate Action Planning Subcommittee had met with a teacher from Lippman who was it was like the lead, the green, it wasn't the green team, but it was
Was it Joe Congdon?
no, it was Nowakowski, the daughter,
Yeah.
Tracy
Tracy
Nowakowski.
Nowakowski,
Okay.
not
and
Michelle Chan, who leads the green team, but
It was like a leadership
yeah.
group that she works with, and she just said they didn't have the bandwidth to do something like a toolkit as part of their curriculum. They wanted to come to Habitat Restoration Days. That was like the first thing that they thought that they could participate in for kids to get volunteer hours, I think. So we like the idea too, and I think I said that too back in the email, is maybe we can try again another year or two. See if they're open to it.
Yeah, we just have never had that much luck with the schools. Never. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've been trying for years, on and off, and
And I'm sure you guys have more contact with the teachers than we do.
We might have some new avenues to.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Got an
that's
advocate.
right.
I'll
Keep it in mind.
yeah, I'll start a discussion. I'll start a discussion. Let's see where.
It's great to start awareness,
Maybe you
Karen,
should take the toolkit home so you have intimate knowledge of it.
That's not a bad idea. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can drop it off for you.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you. That would be
I
wonderful.
can just give it to Tima.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I think it'd be really useful, Kima, if you could give us a better idea of when we should approach schools, when they do stuff, when do they plan their curriculum?
Timing.
What's a
Right.
good?
Gotta be a timing.
So, as a school board member, or as a school board trustee, I'm ethically bound. I can't act in any kind of a management capacity, but because it's a governance body, so I can't tell district employees what to do, and sometimes asking them questions can.
I mean, tell us.
Yeah. Oh.
But when,
Who's best
give
in
us a
contact?
better idea
Yes,
of,
I can certainly get information.
yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
have.
yeah. No, and then with regards to building bridges between the school board, the administration, I'm definitely in a position to be able to talk to other school board members, bring that up as an issue that we can begin a discussion from that perspective about the role of ecology and sustainability in the curriculum, and as well as fulfilling volunteer hours, things like that. Those are the kind of avenues of discussion that we can go without actually, knocking on teachers' doors and being like, hey, not only am I a school board member, but I'm an open space in ecology.
No, I didn't mean even
Yeah.
to imply that. I meant,
Yeah.
if you could let us know, like,
Absolutely.
what time of year the curriculum discussion for next year happens, so that we know when would be a good time to try to talk to them.
My impression, I will try to find out.
Because I think we always have timed it wrong, and I'm not sure how to time it right,
Or if there is a right.
fall
or if
and
there is a right.
I've
Yeah.
tried the fall and the summer and the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
Yeah. No, it's definitely something. Let's plant some seeds and see how they germinate.
Sounds good.
All right.
So one question regarding to the schools. Do we have any information when is the Lippman School Fair this year? I know I'm representing OSEC, but I think it's next
The
week.
science fair.
No, it's
2 weeks. I can look
Pretty
it up.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the next couple of weeks. I think they're finishing up next week.
the awards are February 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I have time. So
it still works for you.
So are you acting as
The
a judge?
first is the Science
Or-
Fair
yeah.
Palooza, when they get all their projects like all set up and finish, prettyify them and get them. And then so probably the week, Science Fair week is, starts February 6th.
So last year we gave pins, I believe, to 2 of the kids that we selected. Do we have pins or anything we'll give them this year?
Yeah, we have whatever we did last year, and that just reminded me that the stickers, we had planned
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if those, I think those had been ordered by Natalie, and I don't know if,
I think she was gonna print them. She bought some blanks. That was my last conversation with her. I completely dropped the ball over my mad Christmas about talking to Mr. Condon about that. And then, in years past, we also had certificates for the 2, as well as the pins for the 2.
Certificates are a nice idea.
Yeah.
okay. And you had the certificates, or did I?
Yeah, I had some print online certificates that I had done in years past. Don't remember if that's what we did last year or not.
No, last year I think. So I
Pins.
believe I gave the names that I had selected to the school and they printed them.
Okay, that would be just as
Yeah.
easy.
I-
Yeah.
Because I think they had templates and they printed.
They had nice
Okay.
paper and
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can look for information about the stickers. I know she went over it with me in November. And then if pins, just stop by afterwards and tell me what you're looking for. I think I know, but I can dig some up.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're kind of in chair and committee member matters, subcommittee reports, and I just had the notes about the toolkit and Habitat Restoration Day. So it sounds like, Barbara, you maybe had a couple.
Yeah, I only have, so this weekend there's some event by San Francisco Garden for the Environment, and they have a bunch of, gardening programs, including some events this weekend that sounded kind of interesting. I'm not gonna pull it up right now. And then, on February, I think it's 9th, you'd have to double check the date, because my printout is kind of blurry. The Office of Sustainability has a Live Green, Save Green energy program that is a 1-hour program from noon to 1 p.m. on a Thursday in February. So,
Is this radio, TV?
usually it's a go-to thing.
Oh,
If you can forward that, we can try to advertise it.
Yeah, it's just the Office of Sustainability.
Okay.
We missed the Climate Change Symposium. I wanted to go to that. How did I miss that? Dang. I'm easy.
Most probably got cancelled with the Trump selection.
Jerry Brown said no way, so we'll see.
so have we already figured out what we're gonna do on Earth Day this year for habitat restoration? Do we need to do that?
No, that was Michelle's kind of that subcommittee, and it was set up to meet at 5:30 today. So I'm
Oh,
waiting to reschedule that.
There's still plenty of time yet.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I mean, we can discuss it if you guys have ideas, but I know that she will too. Does the rest of the committee have preferences?
I don't know. It kind of depends on what San Bruno Mountain Watch is doing and what areas need help. And I haven't really been to enough areas lately to know which areas need help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should table the discussion until Michelle gets
Oh,
back,
Michelle's
because I'm
back,
sure
yeah.
she's got like a
She
dozen
knows.
ideas at the top of her head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure Firth Park's on the top.
Well, Firth is, we got funding
Right, I know, that's
to
great.
do it, so I would think next year we should definitely
Add that in
have
for that
that'd be one of the days,
Yeah.
kind of maintain it and see how often it needs to be maintained.
Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
so, where are we go on to staff updates?
Yep.
So I put on PC outreach when I was communicating with their new communication and outreach manager, and they wanted to do, she wants to do a presentation in Brisbane. It sounds like she's gonna do it at the council meeting on March 9th, so we're kind of talking about would a presentation be better here or at council, and so the Peninsula Clean Energy sent out, or chose areas and picked 20% of the county and put them in the program with, you get 3 letters where you can opt out. So they did the first wave was 20%, and before Earth Day they're gonna put everyone else into the program, all the remaining 80%. So they wanna do a lot of outreach, and so that's one of the steps, is that they're going to come to a council meeting. And you know, not everybody, you kind of reach the same people that watch council meetings and come to council meetings, so we're gonna clip her presentation and then promote it elsewhere on the cities, on Facebook and on Twitter, and kind of send stuff out. But I just wanted to put it out there and tell you what some of her ideas were, and see if there was any other brainstorming that you guys thought. So they said they'll be doing Facebook and Twitter posts that they want us to repost. There's obviously newsletter, blogs, websites, well-trafficked places to put posters once they get posters printed up, and they're planning to have window clings for businesses that opt up to the Echo 100 plan, and yard signs for residences. So I wanted you to be aware and wanted to know if you guys had any feedback about reaching people that maybe aren't watching us tonight or watch council meetings, or, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Brisbane has a next door page, right? In addition to the
Yeah,
Facebook
that's a
page.
good one.
Next door would be a place to do it.
I think there are some people you won't reach unless you actually go bang on their doors, but
You could also put it on the death board.
Signboard, also known as the signboard.
Signboard.
I don't
Yeah.
call it that. I don't know anybody calls
That's a
it
good
that.
idea. Everyone reads that. That's
And
a good idea.
Yeah.
just, for clarification, what's the purpose of the outreach that she's doing?
So everyone will be opted into the program, but then they'll get the 3 notifications that they can opt out, and people that don't know anything about it might say, what's
What?
this other energy company? I just want to be in PG&E, and opt out. And that's been happening. I don't have the percentages, but
Has it?
Wow.
yeah, you know, not largely, but they're.
Because they're just not aware.
Yeah.
I did the
You get
exact
some of
opposite.
that.
I got online and signed up for 100% renewable.
Huh.
Right, you want the yard sign or the window cleaner.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this is something I'd like to do for several reasons. I would like us to get a pretty decent sized monitor for City Hall, for the lobby, that we could put a lot of different stuff on it. We could put, you know, continuous feed slideshows on it about various things. I mean, Peninsula Clean Energy, climate change, all sorts of stuff.
That's a great idea.
That's a great topic for our subcommittee, but I was thinking when you said that just one of those like fundraising goal things for the PCE, at a minimum, we could probably do that, turn that around pretty quickly, you know? Just like even if it's
Do we have a computer screen that we?
just even if it's paper on PCE, we could probably get something
Yeah.
up in a.
I just
know.
think people tend to pay more attention to a moving thing, and you know, getting a computer monitor out there that we could show various things.
Yeah, there is one in the lobby now that I think is for, I'm not even sure, business licenses and maybe some activities, so I can look into that, and maybe we can
It's a great idea.
get, at least be the background on that.
we could be the screensaver.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
there's
ideas,
all
yeah.
sorts of ways we could do it.
Save the world.
But I'd like to put things like Drown Your Town on there so that people can fool around and see, you know, what various degrees of sea level rise would look like.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
More interactive.
Yeah, interactive stuff and just passive stuff.
Okay. And on that kind of idea, the climate facts, we finished what Natalie had written, and we're kind of on hiatus. That could be the subcommittee, we can talk about that, but
Yeah, I haven't. picked
Glenn
it up
wrote a number
again.
of them, so,
I certainly think we could recycle some of the ones that we already have, because we have a year's worth, basically. We
do.
started them last January. So I think, we could start running those through again.
okay. All right,
And I'll try to add some more, when I have time, but I'm not sure when that will be.
right,
I'm still supposed to be making training slides and all sorts of stuff, so.
yeah. You've got your list, okay.
Mm.
All right, so that's good, thank you.
And you'll come back to us next time with our subcommittee assignments
Yes,
and our calendar, and we'll pick those things back up.
calendar. Bob's taking notes too. Have you figured out which things I'm gonna ask you to help me with immediately? Okay, so, item B, Earth Day banners. So, this was funded kind of under the, Park and Recreation Department budget, but you probably have seen the Live at Mission Blue banners are already up. And we got, carved out some of the money to have one set of banners, for Earth Month. And that was one of the things that we reached out to the Littman, Nowakowski, to have the kids maybe get involved in the design, and they said they didn't have the bandwidth at the time to do that as part of their
Aw,
art program or whatever. Yeah, which
that's
we're
really too
excited.
bad.
So they've cut their teeth, purchased the first set, and I got a little bit of information. They did all the same. You saw they were all 32, 33 banners are the same, and that was $1,500, which is what the budget is for each set. And then I also asked about having a couple different ones. If we had 4 different images, 8 of each one, it's an extra $300. So out of our special projects budget, if we funded that, we could do something with more options. So we talked about putting them up in late March, early April, and having them up the month of April, and they'd have to be ordered in February, like mid-February. So
I like that.
I'm looking for feedback, and maybe the
Artwork.
app subcommittee could finalize if we need to, but I came up with a couple of things, so got them here. This one was not my first choice, but it
It's pretty.
Recreation Department kind of put it in a banner form for me. This one I liked a lot. I've sent an email asking to be able to use this artwork.
Yeah, that's really pretty. I like that.
I like that too.
I thought it was,
It really touches the whole.
I would move the Celebrate Earth just a little bit down because it kind of fades out, or just maybe have that fade go up a little more to highlight the Celebrate Earth, because it takes a moment for that to.
okay.
That's a good point, yeah.
And the first one that you
Yeah.
showed also didn't really say much about
Yeah.
the day on it.
It's pretty, but it didn't.
Yeah.
This says it all.
I like the first one, and I like them being different, even if we have to not go with a full set of 18. I mean, we had talked about like doing, 12 or something.
Well, that's what
And it didn't
Karen
go
was
all the way
saying.
up the street, but
It was like an extra $300. We could have a couple of sets.
Right. And then I've got one more that was a,
Oh, let's see that one.
oops, sorry, there we go, that was on the same site.
Mm.
That might be harder to read as you're driving.
Yeah, I think it has a lot too much words, and so yeah, people will be crashing into people in front of the library or driving up onto the sidewalk in front of Midtown Market.
Yeah, I think the second one is the most clear and impactful.
I like this though.
I did too.
Could we take part of it? Committed citizens can change the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shrink it down a lot.
And leave off a lot of the text, because it is too wordy for.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, especially in the format that it is, doesn't lend itself to a banner.
But I
Oh, yeah,
do.
we could
It's
cut and paste
definitely
that.
not the banner.
I like what you said, Glenn, to put committed citizens can, and then the heart, because I still love the heart world, and then change the world below and just have a longer banner.
Actually, I don't like the word citizens in our current political climate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to use that word.
Humans?
Yeah, or people, you know, or whatever. But once we say citizens, then you're going to start talking.
What about people that are not citizens or
Right.
something like that?
And are they going to
Yeah,
come
but-
round
but
them up?
You can be a citizen of the world, but I'm not gonna,
We're not going to go
that's
through.
what.
No, it's
Semantic.
with the current political debate, I would vote against that particular terminology. Margaret Mead lived in a different time.
True.
Committed people can change the
Yeah.
world.
Okay, well then we would not attribute it as a quote to anyone because we've
Right,
already changed it.
because,
It's not a quote anymore.
So we
You
could
can,
do
you can
two.
attribute it to the OSEC.
Yeah.
We could do 2 or we could do 4, and Noreen is the one that helped me with this and did the live admission blue banner, and I guess we have a Shutterstock account, so you pay a monthly fee and then you can use any other artwork, so I didn't have time to go through everything that's there and
Yeah.
come up with the 4
So
best, but
much.
these jumped out at me and felt like good.
Before you get done with any editing you might do on this chalkboard one, you might want to, since we're removing a lot of the words, put, you know, Earth Day at the bottom,
Yeah.
so we know what it's for.
Yeah.
Because some people might just look at it and go, "It's a heart." I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We
Yeah, I
should be
mean, it
clear
could
what-
be love the world and not necessarily love the environment, so.
right.
Yeah, if you spend any time on Shutterstock, you could spend
You can go
hours.
deeply
You
into
know.
it, yeah.
I wonder how it would be
I've
if
done
we
that before.
said, committed people can change the world, do something for Earth Day at the
I
bottom.
like that.
That works.
Mhm.
Yeah, people
It
thought-
gets
thoughtful,
in the direction
committed
of more
people
words,
change the
but
world.
maybe it's not.
Well, and you might be able to do that with 2 different ones that are alternating or something.
Yeah, or just having a banner that has Earth and says "Do something."
I like that on the second banner, it actually shows you the recycling sign, so it kind of tells you what
Yeah.
to
It does.
do.
Yeah, that
It
was-
also has the plant. It kind of says,
Still my
you know,
favorite. The
plant-
color,
right?
everything.
Yeah,
You know,
that's-
plant
Right.
something, save water, like the drop of water is there, the
Well, my
sunshine.
problem with this one is it should be really 360 days. for
Yeah,
Earth Day.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Should be 365 days.
Yeah, well, it's just that we're gonna put it up for
30 days.
Earth
30
Month.
days.
It can be up for 30 days and say 365.
Yeah, no, I was, yeah.
So I have a question about the multiple signs. Can we have, how often can we get new signs? Because I know from
How big's
down
the
at the shopping mall area, they have signs up and they last for, you know, a year or two if they put them up year round. But then
This is only
you
gonna
have
be
certain
for a month.
Christmas ones that come up and they've been using the same ones year in and year out. Is it something that we can have another, like order a set of these and then, you know,
Next year, do a different set of something
Exactly.
else.
We'd have to ask
And
for more
mix 'em
money
in.
in the budget, so we only have budget to get 1 set of signs.
and it lasts as long as it lasts and then it's done?
And then,
But it's
well,
only
and
going to
then
be
we
up for a
ask-
month, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could last a long time.
It could last a long time. I
Yeah,
think we'll,
I mean, I
5
think-
years from now,
Especially our date, we're
12
not
years
doing it
from now.
in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, like stuff like Mission Blue, I think might change every year because of the dates of the performances, or Kevin might want to have a different theme. But with Earth Day, we're going to have it every year, and so after a couple of years, we could have a full set of multiple,
exactly.
you know.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we can always ask for more money, we're just trying to kick it off this year, you know,
Yeah,
actually make it
I
happen.
could say from working on visitation, it's well received.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
yeah, it does make the town look nice to have those.
It looks beautiful. I was very pleased to see it out there.
So, what the feedback I'm getting, if I can,
Yeah.
you know, put it all together, is you kind of like the feel of these couple, obviously the second one being
Yeah.
wordy, and the subcommittee could finalize what we do in terms of, we could decide now if we just want to do 2 or we want to try to do 4 different ones. I think we have funding to
well,
do
how many banners are we actually going to get?
32.
32. Wow.
So
That's
we
how
could
many are up
do
there
3
now.
different.
Yeah.
Or do them all the same.
I don't want to do them all the same.
No, I don't either.
Spend the extra
I mean,
300
even if
bucks.
we had to, even if we had to settle for like 16 and do like every other poll and do 16 different ones, that would make me happier.
I mean, 16 different ones total?
Yeah.
I think,
gonna cost
if I understand correctly, it's only like $300 to do 2 designs,
4 designs.
4 designs,
Yeah.
and if it's $1,500 for
1 design.
32 of them, we should be able to get at least 24 to 28. You know, if you subtract 300 from the 1,500, I'm guessing we're,
So they,
Don't work
they
like
have
that.
to set up their printing
Right.
and make a small number, so.
well, I guess the
So
question,
Live at Mission Blue were $1,500 to all be the same.
right,
And to get a total of 32 with 4 different designs.
would be 1,800.
It's additional. You can't subtract from that. That
Right, it would be,
Can't subtract.
oh,
You can, they probably won't give you
I
a huge discount.
doubt it.
Right.
all right.
But I think
usually
seeing the same banner in different places in the town, it kind of reinforces the message. I think if we have too many different banners, like people just get confused. What are we message? are we
Well, they're
trying
all
to convey?
on visitation
Yeah, they're all on visitation, going up visitation.
for now. There was talk about getting some into Mission Blue, right? But that at this point, where we
We're on
have we're
vegetation.
set up
Let's
for the
put
ones
there.
in visitation, and that's where these would go this April.
I like it on visitation.
Yeah.
It just made the whole city just perk.
Right.
Really pretty.
So we could do 2. We could just do 2 designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 will be good.
She wants 4. We could do. I mean, we could do 4 designs.
How about we ask for more money?
No,
That would
we
be
don't-
later. the next
We'd have to do
year.
that next year. So
Yeah.
for now, we
Well,
can
we're
do
up
the
against-
4 designs. That's what we get for an extra $300. We could do 4 designs. So then we have to come up with 2 more designs because I don't think any of us like
Well,
any of them. But
well,
this.
I mean, okay, so I guess it comes out to how many would we get if we went with 4 designs? Because personally, I'd rather see the whole street covered with 1 or 2 designs than only having a little bit of the street covered, but there's 4 designs. I mean, it might,
Well, it's still going to be 32, right?
Yeah, it's still 32
No, I
total.
had said I'd rather have 16 and get all, and do every other poll.
right, and I'm
Get
the
designs.
opposite. I'd rather have it be every pole with less designs.
But there's so much we need to say.
I know.
But that's still 4, so we still have 3 more designs to come up with.
right.
Could we get,
Missy?
I mean,
I think
This
if
art-
it was,
art-
okay,
You're the
so
one
what
gotta
really
draw
needs to
these in.
happen is Karen needs to talk to them, because if we cut the number of signs in half and maybe double the number of images, then maybe that's
The-
600.
Normally, if you know anything about printers, and I've done a lot
I
of
do know
negotiations,
something
they
about
usually
printers.
don't do that. This is the cost, this is what it is. If you want something else, it's this. If you start changing everything
Mhm.
and back and forth, every time you change it, they're going to add another addition.
You know
Well,
what? I
maybe we
don't
could-
think that's really true anymore, because now with digital printing, they just set up the printer and they,
How about, could we ask
okay,
staff?
I've done this.
Well,
and
I would also like
so we
to
just
say,
need to ask and see what their business model is, because not everybody's business model. is
But
Right.
I would say the other
Can I
thing,
step
Barbara,
in?
I mean, coming up with 16 different ideas is a lot of work by
I was saying
itself.
8, but yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think let's start with 4 and see if we can come up with 4 and
Sure.
and my understanding
Only
is
have 2 weeks.
without changing what's been done traditionally, we put up 32. Like,
Okay.
they want to have
Yeah,
32.
cover the street.
Yeah,
But we can have up to 4 different
4
at
designs.
this point.
Yeah, that's
We
great.
can-
2 weeks
Yeah,
to get 'em in.
So we all like this design, and you're looking to see if it's okay if you can get approval to use it.
And if, yeah,
Or we have to
if
pay
it's not,
something
we
for it.
can.
She didn't say,
shut
when in
stock
February
and-
do they have to be ordered?
you could
Because
draw
it
one.
could be 1 week or it could be 4 weeks.
I can't even do a stick figure, but I could
Say
try
again?
that.
She didn't hear you.
I said, when in February do they have to be ordered? Because that could be 1 week or that could be 4 weeks.
Mid-February, she said.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
mid-February, all right. I just wrote down February.
Mid-February, so that's 2.5.
You earlier said you didn't want to meet as a subcommittee until the week after next, so that's like the 9th of
But-
February.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't, yeah, sure. I'll meet earlier if there's something pressing.
Well, I think if we, I can come up with a few more. If,
Yeah,
is this where the committee wants to go? 4 designs or?
4 sounds great.
Huh?
Maybe
Yes.
email
It can be
them.
email, yeah.
Yeah.
Just send them out, get a
We'll
group
all-
consensus
and maybe one simple survey market, vote on which one you like most,
That's
and-
great.
or if
That's,
there
I
are
was
4
thinking
and
that
they
too,
just-
yeah.
if 4 is all we have, that's what we'll go with.
Cool.
Maybe that gives an opportunity for committee members that want to contribute designs to be able to also contribute, and then we can vote on all of them.
Is there any committee members that want to do that?
I might, I'm not sure where.
Because you have all the artistic.
We have a lot to say, too.
But we have to pick from Shutterstock, is that
Sure,
how it
she
You
said.
have
works?
so much extra time in your schedule.
Or
Where
draw
did
it
you get
yourself.
these?
I'm just rolling in it
I
like
got these from someone's blog
Bubble
page.
Bash.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So pretty. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I immediately like that. And one of the 4 might want to feature a butterfly.
Are they,
Yeah.
are they like copyrighted or whatever?
She's
not-
finding that
They're
out.
not copyrighted, but it did say ask for permission to use.
Okay. We don't wanna get the city in trouble.
Well,
did
Call it
check with-
budget with licensing fees.
I did
or-
check with the attorney, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, plus if you do this, they may want us to take a picture of the town with their beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
I think I would like that if I
Right.
was artist.
Yeah. All right, so that's that.
So 4 more designs in 2 weeks.
3 more designs.
3 more designs in 2 weeks, or just go with this one.
So I've got this one, and then we're gonna do a
Just wanna
shorter
back
version
up
of
the
this
plan.
one.
This
You can show us a shorter version of this one, but I'm like the other one.
Yeah, so we might, well, as a additional, not in place, so
Yeah,
maybe we
no.
have 5 options to pick 4.
Okay,
Pick the best 4.
okay. Thanks.
All right.
But if anybody feels artsy,
And we're not doing this
Not
one.
me.
This was not one that I chose. It was kind of an accident, so.
I mean, you could
Gari
always do
Matai
something.
is one of my heroes. I love when Gari Matai.
She's great, it's just.
I don't get
probably
the
most
connection
people
with
don't
the
know
earth.
who she is.
I don't get the connection with Earth Day.
Lame.
Right.
Well, we could do it with Mission Blue Butterfly.
She's
We wanted to do something more
she was
Brisbanean.
an African woman who came to the U.S. and studied, and then went back to Africa and basically worked on
Oh, I know who she is.
yeah
Trees.
yeah raising up women by planting trees.
Yeah.
Millions of trees. So the women would become the caretakers of these trees, and the trees would hold water, and the water would make the plants grow and provide shade, and then they would take wood from the trees, and the trees were sometimes fruit trees, and then they had produce. It was all this interconnected thing of raising women out of poverty through arboriculture.
Oh, that's great.
She's the Johnny Appleseed. Yeah.
She
Kind
kind of
of,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool. In fact, I think she was the first woman with a PhD in Kenya
Yeah.
ever. Anyway, she's great, but I don't think most people know who she is.
I
And
think I'm
the thing is, the message is a little bit not specific.
Right.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's a beautiful poster.
Yeah, that's why I like the blue one, is the recycle and the plant.
Right.
It's just like, it's educational as well.
So
Right.
the thing, if you read this story, this parable, and I don't know if she wrote it or if it's a traditional African parable.
I watched her.
The thing is that it doesn't matter how small you are or how insignificant your effort is. You do what you can, and if you just don't worry about how little and how small you are, your efforts can add up to a monumental accomplishment.
Being her the OSEC video.
Yeah,
The smallest acorn turns into the mightiest oak tree.
it's a similar parable, yes,
Alrighty.
which I think is very important with climate change, because everybody gets so wrapped up in, well, I'm just one person, and I can't, if I walk to work today or not, it's not going to make any difference, when the truth is that it will, or does, so. There you go.
Good.
Keep that in mind. Okay.
All right, next meeting. Right before the crab feed.
Motion. Do we need a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moves.
Right?
It's an absolute record. An hour and 15 minutes.
We
An
didn't
hour
have
and
much to talk
13
about, really.
minutes. It's the shortest OSEC meeting I've ever been
This is
to.
how long they should be.
Oh, you weren't ever at our 3-hour
Oh
meetings.
my
You just
God.
don't know what you missed.
I'd probably fall asleep. You'd have to wake me up. Go to bed at 9.
Past your bedtime. What? How did we get out so early? I wasn't even here
We
for.
just